The fourth battleground is possibly Egypt, because Israel wants part of Egypt's territory because of something in the Torah. The Torah says that the Holy Land extends from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. From the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. Meaning that part of Egypt, from the river Nile to the Red Sea, belongs to Israel. And so within the next few months, we expect that these wars are going to begin. And Islamic scholarship should be ready. If India is going to play a strategic role in the attack on Pakistan and in the effort to denuclearize Pakistan and to break it up into bits and pieces, how should Islamic scholarship respond? That's the critical moment in which we are now located. Tomorrow night we'll see how it's not only a military threat, but also a political and economic threat. The collapse of the monetary system, paper money disappearing, only electronic money taking over, and you're going to be imprisoned in that monetary system of electronic money. And so we want to now turn in seeking a response and looking to the future for Islam in this subcontinent. We now want to turn back into history to identify a great catastrophe, a debacle, a mistake that was made. And when we recognize and understand that big mistake which was made when the partition took place, when Britain was decolonizing and the Republic of Pakistan came into being, and then eventually the Republic of Bangladesh came into being, we'll be in a better position, particularly for the Muslims of India, to understand the way forward. And now briefly, because we don't have the whole night, Islam gave to the world a political system, but it did not come for the first time with Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, no. It came for the first time with Nabi Dawood alayhi salam and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, the holy state of Israel in the Holy Land. And that holy state of Israel recognized Allah as Al-Malik, the sovereign, recognized Allah's authority as supreme, Al-Akbar, recognize Allah's law as the highest law, Al-Hakam. India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, or South Asia, had the rule of the Mughals, like Turkey and Anatolia and the Ottoman Empire had the rule of the Ottomans. And these were monarchies, but they were still using Islam. And so the shell was there of Khilafah, recognizing Allah as sovereign. And they enforced Sharia until Britain emerged and British armies conquered, together with French and German, and they colonized the world of Islam. And so Muslim India was now under British rule. For how long? Maybe 150, 200 years or more. Did this happen by accident? No. This was Dajjal's work. Oh yes. Because Dajjal wanted to bring about change. He wanted to cause this entire Muslim community to be imprisoned in a new political system that he had devised. And so, when the time came for Britain to withdraw, it was not by accident. No. Britain wanted to withdraw, but on the condition that what is left behind will now be carbon copies of the European political system. Oh yes. And so you may say Pakistan ka matlab kya? La ilaha illallah. But I want to know, why is Dajjal hiding behind that mango tree and laughing his head off? He is so happy. Why? Don't you understand, you dum-dum? You have abandoned Darul Islam. You have abandoned Khilafah. And you have embraced the modern state which was created in Europe, which declares that Allah is no longer Al-Malik. The state is now Al-Malik. That is shirk. Allah is no longer Al-Akbar. The state is now Al-Akbar. That is shirk. Allah is no longer Al-Hakam, the lawgiver. The state now makes the law. That is shirk. Why? Why? Why did Dr. Muhammad Iqbal not understand that? Why? Why did Muhammad Ali Jinnah not understand that? I have a book outside. Do please read it. It's small. Iqbal and Pakistan's Moment of Truth. Dr. Iqbal is a great scholar, and I have the greatest respect for him. And when I offer a critical comment about Dr. Iqbal, it does not diminish his stature in my eyes. He still remains a great, great scholar. But the blame lies most of all on the shoulders of Dr. Iqbal for not recognizing that the modern political system and model of a state, which was coming from Europe and which Mustafa Kemal embraced in 1922, to replace the Khilafah with the secular state of Turkey, and which he, Iqbal, endorsed, and which he put into his book, The Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam. He said that the modern parliament of the Republican state is an adequate substitute and replacement for the Khilafah. What? Did Iqbal say that? But that's nonsense. That the modern parliament of the secular state can be an adequate replacement for the Khilafah? That's nonsense. But because Iqbal had the stature that Iqbal had, Muslim religious thought in the whole subcontinent, illa ma sha'Allah, went along with the bandwagon to create a modern secular state called Pakistan. You can put on a pagri on the head of Pakistan. You can make Pakistan grow its beard. And you can put Pakistan in Sunnah clothes, it's still a secular state, you dum-dum. It is still a state created on the same foundations as all the other secular states in the world, regardless of what you put in the constitution, because hypocritically nobody bothers about it. And so when Pakistan came into being, Muslim India said goodbye. Muslim India said goodbye to Islamic political theory. They said goodbye to Darul Islam. They said goodbye to Khilafah.